if I inspect my recolored, reclassed layer here, I notice that as I zoom in, there's a lot of speckle or small features, and this could be problematic because they might not be as well defined. There's a bunch of little pieces in here, and I'm not really sure if I come to a little location like this here that I want to stratify based on these little divisions. I want to stratify on maybe larger polygons. So I want to somehow group these and remove the speckle. So I want the majority to dominate the minority and get rid of a lot of these little bits that are located around. And so in this geoprocessing tool, there are various things we can do to remove this speckle, and one is this majority filter. So you should know what that is from the reading. Basically, if I use the reclass, I'm going to look at a cell and the cells around it, and I can look at the number of neighboring cells, either 4 neighboring cells or 8. I think I ask you to use 4, and I ask you to use the majority. And I go ahead then and run this, and it then looks at each cell and its neighbors and will reclass. So you can see, I'm not going to recode this, but you can see then that some of these disappear. Some of these little individual pieces, I'm getting rid of some of that speckle. This is one approach. I could run this several times. So I could take the output and then run the majority again on it, but that's going to be a little laborious and not going to remove all of the things I want. I could also use my focal statistics. So there's another tool here, and it's called the focal statistics. And again, I'm not going to have to type all of the name in before it shows up, and I can use then my input raster, the one I got the output from the majority, and I can set various shapes for the neighborhood. So around the neighborhood, it's going to look at the values and assign based on the parameters I tell. So I want a fairly large neighborhood. I want a lot of smoothing. The larger the neighborhood, the more smoothing you get. And I'm going to use the cell, and I want to apply the median rather than the mean. I want it just to have a 1, 2, or 3. And so it's going to set a 31 by 31 cell rectangle, and it's going to give me the median, or the one that lines up in the middle of that set. And so in this large area where there's a bunch of 3s or steeps with other things embedded, mostly 2s, the steep is going to likely fall in the middle. And so all these, or many of these, will disappear. So I'll go ahead and run this. Now this may take a long time to finish, but when it's done, then you'll get this much generalized surface here. So you can see that all of that speckle, or most of that really fine scale stuff, has gone away, and we get relatively compact large blobs.